Gentlemen, welcome to our Week 6 wrap-up of this 13th season of Blood, Sweat, and Beers. I first want to thank Pancho for standing in over the last 2 weeks while I was away. I think he did an outstanding job. I really appreciate the effort that he put in. Many of you may not have realized just how bad things went for him technically last week, and yet he was still able to put together a weekly wrap-up. So thank you, Pancho. I appreciate that. I know no one else said anything, made any comments. Sometimes that feels a little hurtful, but I appreciate you. I see you. That was good. I'm very thankful. I'm a little disappointed, though, at the first week, 2 weeks ago, the first week that John stood in for me. Very disappointed that no one caught the reference. It was so clear to me as if it was scrawled across the screen. But because no one got it, even with, basically some big neon signs in the WhatsApp chat, I wanted to introduce you to a good friend of John's and mine, somebody who has been with us for quite a while, number of years. He's gotten us through some difficult times. We don't hear a lot from him anymore, but he's still a very important part of who we are.
An uppity welcome and distinguished hello to you all.
So for those of you who know, you know. If not, well, just pull a Keith and say, I don't understand, and move on. But getting to the actual week wrap-up, interesting week once again. I have no idea what else I need to do to get a win. Thought I had a great an opportunity to knock the king off his throne, but the other king, multiple kings in this scenario is probably a poor choice of words, came through strong once again. I want to make the point that I've got the third most points that have been scored in the league, and I now have the two highest scoring losing records. The top two losing scores is what I'm trying to say. Over 170 week 1 when I lost to Keith, almost 160, still wasn't enough to topple Don Chris. I don't even, dude, get over it. It's just a game. Moving on, look at the top of the divisions. Obviously, we have the hyped team, Don Chris, crushing people left and right, averaging a ridiculous 170 plus points a game. So it'll be interesting to see how far he can take this. I believe 9-0 is the best start to a season we've ever had here at Blood, Sweat, and Beers. He is definitely looking to potentially challenge that record. King Henry is clearly his front runner, right, leading the way. But Kyler Murray is right there. The Mikes have been really impressive, Williams and Evans. But you may have noticed this past week, neither one of them did so hot. So it looks like there could be potentially some chinks in that armor. And really, if you look at his bench, it's not stacked on the bench. So as we get into some heavy bye-week rotations, well, some of the next couple of weeks may have an opportunity. You guys may have an opportunity to take a legitimate shot at the number 1. But we don't want to overlook the 2 and 3 spots, because right nipping on his heels, we've got 2 5-1 teams, just a single game back from that top spot. And all they need is that little foothold to maybe jump ahead. We think of Hoffman, Augustus Gloop 9. Second most points scored, sitting there at 5-1, atop the West Division. Solid roster. The resurgence of Matthew Stafford is pretty amazing, and Cooper Kupp having another monstrous year. Will that continue? If it does, I don't know. Hoffman may find himself joining the two-timers club, the Deuces Club. We got to figure out what that name is. Anyway, and in sort of a long shot going into the season, we realized that Ian's got a pretty good shot, pretty good team put together here as well. I don't know if he just stumbled into that kind of stuff, or he put some thought and effort into it, or it's just the way that the season's going. But he's also sitting there at 5-1 with a solid roster. This could be the dark horse. He's not crushing it necessarily. And you look at some of the stats, some of the individual players, and you think his team maybe shouldn't be doing as well as it is, but they are. So is this the underdog story? Is he overachieving too early? Will he flame out? Will he actually be able to hoist a trophy in his first season back after, I don't know, how long has it been? It's been years for sure. But that will be something to look at as we go through the rest of the season. For the rest of us, we're just looking for table scraps. We basically just don't want to be at the end of the list. We don't want to be last place. I know that Zach said that he would fall on the sword and take that. I think we're all going to be willing to let him do that because we don't want last place. We don't want our name chosen for us. And we can see how hard barrel scraper is scraping to try to get by and claw his way at least to the middle of the pack. So clear, some clear motivation there. So enjoy this week as we go through the middle of the season. Make the adjustments that you need to. We'll see who makes it to the playoffs. Just for the record, if there was a bandwagon to join, it would be green, not red.